Well, Africa certainly has some very particular development challenges. I mean, there's an issue of governance, which in some African countries is a very serious problem, and there's an issue in other places of conflict. So there are two kind of underpinning things. But there's also been, I suppose, the problem with Africa, the reason it's in the difficulty that is because it really, a number of these countries are really stuck in a poverty trap. Some of that is due to the very, difficult environment they're working in, and whether that's a physical environment, but which has a burden of disease like malaria and other problems. But there's other problems of sheer economic underdevelopment, very poor infrastructure in many parts of Africa. So again, it's a matter of trying to, find ways of getting people out of this poverty trap and onto the development ladder. And that has been happening increasingly. I mean, it's wrong to say that, or for people to think that Africa is a basket case. There are many countries in Africa over the past 10 years that have been growing at quite respectable rates, 5, 6, 7% per annum. And it's trying to build on that while recognizing that there are certain countries, certain problem areas where, unless you tackle issues like governance and dealing with the conflict problem, you can't even start out on the road to development. And that is, for example, in the case of the likes of Darfur, in Chad, and at another level, I mean, a particularly bad case is obviously Zimbabwe. Well, clearly there needs to be political change. I mean, that's the first and I would say fundamental requirement. I note that in recent days President Bush has called for Mr. Mugabe to resign. A number of other leaders have done the same. And I think that's an indispensable first step. If and hopefully when that happens, then there is a question of can there be a serious political settlement within the country of people agreeing to work together. And then what needs to be done is that a program of rehabilitation to be put in place with substantial international assistance. But I do think an indispensable first step is for President Mugabe to step down.